Hey guys, Scotty the trainer here. Give me 5 minutes. Listen, today there's been a lot of dealings and talkings. This morning I was addressing the issue of leadership. Now, for those of you that follow me a lot on Facebook, and maybe those of you that follow me on YouTube as well, you'll know that one of the hilarious things is that there's a company that I worked for about 5 years, was their main trainer, built a lot of their training materials, things, so forth, and did a lot of talk about leadership. And they were very critical of me in the last little bit. Said a lot of things about me in regards to leadership and not being a leader. What I find absolutely hilarious is that I walk into this new company, and 2 days into it they said, "Can you share with us about leadership?" And I did. And day 3, "Can you share with us about leadership?" Day 4, "Can you start our day by sharing with us about leadership?" And that's what I've been doing. And so a lot of the things that I've been saying and posting is that just because one group doesn't want you doesn't mean that there isn't a group for you. One of the things that I think is absolutely important when it comes to leadership is to realize that there's a question that says, are leaders born or are leaders made? And here's what I've been saying over the last few days. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. Now, I think all of us know that there are people that were born to be leaders, and there are a lot of people that were forced into leadership because of the circumstances or the situations or the environment that they're in. I don't think it matters whether you're born to be a leader or whether you learn to be a leader. The fact is that when there is a need and there's a group that needs direction, if you're the person at that moment that has that ability to lead them and direct them, it's your time to stand up and get the job done. Period. No questions asked. One of the pivotal things about leadership is that leaders don't get to choose the people that follow them. Now, that's one of the things that I think is absolutely amazing. And there are a lot of companies out there that become very picky as far as who's going to come into their business or not. Now, you may not be able to do the job. Then absolutely there's a reason to tell that person, no, you're not going to be hired to do this job. But there are some people that are able to do the job, but they're discriminated against. Sometimes it's gender bias. Sometimes it's age bias. I was sitting with a man last night, a man that made $750,000 last night in his business. Invited me out for dinner, and we were talking about business, and he's talking to me about things that he'd like to be involved in and he'd like me to be involved in. And one of the things that he talked about is he said, I can be skeptical and I can be selective because I can. It's my business. The other side of that is, though, he had a certain idea of what he was looking for. He wasn't discriminating on people because of their looks, their attitudes, or their age, but he was discriminating on people who didn't want the amount of success and didn't want to do the work that was necessary to get the success that he was promising them. Let's get down to brass tacks when it comes to leaders. Is that you find out a lot of times I look at my leadership skills were not challenged by the people that I was leading. There wasn't a coup where there were a group of people that were under my leadership standing up going, off with his head. It was the other leaders that were having the issues. And one thing that I think that's for certain is if you can find a place where there is no hypocrisy among leaders, you need to plug in there. Because as a leader, I'm not going to look at someone and their productivity and then tell them you're not getting the job done. Because obviously, if there is fruit, there's something that they are producing in the seeds that they're planting. I'm not going to look at them and say the job's not getting done if there is productivity that's being accomplished. But when you have leaders that have no productivity, Just because you have a title that says you're a manager doesn't mean you can manage. Just because you say you're a leader doesn't mean you're a leader. Just because your shirt has a tag on it that says supervisor doesn't mean you know how to supervise. I believe true leaders don't have to walk around saying, I'm a leader, I'm a leader, I'm a leader. If you're a true leader, you won't have to tell anybody, you won't have to wear the badge. People around you will know it. And that's what I think about leadership. And I am Scotty the Trainer.